Hello, fellow gardeners, and welcome back to the Humus Heritage. If you've been searching for a natural, powerful way to build the kind of root systems that create truly unstoppable plants, you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're going underground, literally, to explore one of gardening's most underestimated secret weapons, bone meal. This isn't just another fertilizer talk. We're diving deep into how this organic amendment can fundamentally transform what's happening beneath your soil surface, creating a foundation of root strength that changes everything above ground. Every gardener has faced it. Plants that seem to stall out, vegetables that underperform despite your best efforts, flowers that topple in the slightest wind, or transplants that struggle to establish themselves. More often than not, the real issue isn't what you can see above the soil, it's what's failing to develop below it. Shallow, weak root systems are the invisible saboteurs of garden success, limiting a plant's ability to access water during dry spells, anchor itself against weather extremes, and draw up the nutrients it needs to thrive. When roots can't spread deep and wide, the entire plant suffers, no matter how perfect the conditions seem above ground. The frustrating truth is that many conventional fertilizers focus on quick greening and visible growth, completely neglecting the critical underground architecture that makes sustained plant health possible. That's where our underground secret comes in, and why understanding how to properly feed your soil at root level can be the difference between a garden that merely survives and one that absolutely flourishes. Bone meal is essentially pulverized animal bones, and while that might sound simple, its nutritional profile is remarkably specialized for exactly what roots need most. The star of the show is phosphorus, typically present at levels between 15 and 27% depending on processing methods. Phosphorus is absolutely essential for root development because it drives energy transfer within plant cells through compounds like ATP, which you can think of as the cellular currency that powers growth. When young roots are pushing through soil, dividing cells rapidly, and building new tissue, they're burning through phosphorus at incredible rates. This nutrient also activates enzymes responsible for cell division, meaning without adequate phosphorus, root expansion simply stalls out regardless of how much nitrogen or water you provide. Beyond phosphorus, bone meal contains significant calcium, often 20 to 30%, which plays a completely different but equally vital role. Calcium strengthens cell walls, creating more rigid, durable root tissue that can push through compacted areas and resist damage from soil-dwelling organisms. It also helps regulate water movement into root cells and activates certain plant growth hormones. What truly sets bone meal apart from synthetic fertilizers is its slow-release nature. Being largely insoluble, it doesn't wash away with the first rain or create the feast or famine nutrition cycles that chemical fertilizers often produce. Instead, soil microorganisms gradually break down bone meal over months, creating a steady, sustained release of nutrients exactly when and where roots need them. This gradual decomposition also feeds beneficial soil bacteria and fungi, which form symbiotic relationships with roots and actually extend their effective reach through the soil. Understanding bone meal's power means nothing if you're applying it incorrectly, and this is where many gardeners unknowingly waste this valuable amendment. Surface application is the most common mistake. Simply sprinkling bone meal on top of soil means it sits where roots aren't actively growing, exposed to runoff and largely unavailable to plants. For bone meal to work its underground magic, it must be incorporated into the root zone itself. When preparing new beds, your goal is thorough integration. After spreading bone meal across your planting area at roughly 10 pounds per 100 square feet for vegetable gardens, or 5 pounds for ornamental beds, work it into the top 6 to 8 inches of soil with a garden fork or tiller. This places the amendment exactly where new roots will be exploring as plants establish. For individual transplants like tomatoes, peppers, or perennials, dig your planting hole to the appropriate depth, then mix 2 to 3 tablespoons of bone meal directly into the soil at the bottom of the hole and along its sides. This creates a nutrient-rich zone that roots will grow into naturally. When planting trees or large shrubs, increase this to roughly half a cup mixed throughout the backfill soil. Established plants require more care since you're working around existing roots. The technique here is to create a ring of small holes with a trowel or dibber around the plant's drip line, the outer edge of the foliage where feeder roots are most active. Drop a tablespoon of bone meal into each hole and cover with soil. This delivers nutrition precisely where those feeding roots can access it without disturbing the plant's core root structure. Container gardening presents unique challenges since nutrients leach away more quickly. Mix bone meal into potting mix before planting at roughly 1 tablespoon per gallon of soil, and side dress containers every 6 to 8 weeks during the growing season, by gently working small amounts into the soil surface. Timing matters significantly for maximizing bone meal's impact. Spring application before planting gives the amendment time to begin breaking down before roots actively seek it out. Fall application for perennials, trees, and shrubs provides months of decomposition over winter, making nutrients available exactly when spring growth begins. For flowering plants and fruiting vegetables, applying bone meal at transplant time and again when flower buds first appear supports both root establishment and the phosphorus-intensive flowering process. Never exceed recommended rates. More isn't better with bone meal, and excessive phosphorus can actually lock up other nutrients like iron and zinc, creating deficiencies that weaken rather than strengthen plants. The transformation bone meal creates underground ripples through everything you grow. Stronger, deeper roots mean plants that weather drought stress without wilting, that stand firm through storms, that produce heavier yields because they can access more nutrients and water. This isn't about quick fixes or cosmetic greening. It's about building fundamental plant vigor from the ground up. The slow-release nature means you're investing in months of steady nutrition rather than fleeting results, creating soil fertility that compounds over seasons as organic matter accumulates. If you're ready to see what your garden can truly achieve with this underground advantage, start experimenting with bone meal this season. Apply it properly, give it time to work its subterranean magic, and watch how your plants respond with the kind of robust growth that comes from roots that can truly support them. Share your results with our community here at the Humus Heritage. We love hearing about your underground successes and the breakthroughs you're achieving. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss our deep dives into these hidden garden secrets that make all the difference. Hit that notification bell, and if this guide helped illuminate something new about feeding your garden from the roots up, share it with fellow gardeners who are ready to dig deeper. Until next time, keep growing, keep learning, and remember, the best gardens are built from the ground up.